All right, a little bit about Neota Logic first. Some of you may have heard the name before, but don't quite know who we are or what we do. Here is my very quick elevator pitch. Neota Logic is the creators of NLS, the Neota Logic system, a click and drag, no code, rapid development platform that allows our users to build digital solutions themselves. These solutions are centered around the intelligent workflow automation of processes, documents, and expertise. Now, to really understand what the Neota platform can do, you need to start with answering the question, well, what can you build using the platform? I like to do things a little bit backwards. I want to start at the end, the vision, and then work backwards from there to see how we got there using the platform. This use case on screen is one of my favorites in the years I've been at Neota. It was built by one of our clients. You may have heard of them before, KPMG. KPMG built an app for a Fortune 500 company called the Business Traveller Assist. It's targeted towards global mobility and HR teams of very large corporations. The application will allow you and your expat employees to do things like input details around your intended travel, automate the assessment of each employee's time overseas from a tax, immigration, payroll perspective, and then it sends a personalised report to each employee. The app will track and monitor all employees currently working in a foreign country, directs employees to the right visa online. Most importantly, a direct line to other service offerings by KPMG if the client needs further advice on immigration, legal, tax, and other services. Now, this might be a bit cheesy, but the solution wasn't built using this. It wasn't built using code. It was built using these tools, which form part of the no-code Neota platform. It was built by a lawyer with no technical or coding background, and the first iteration was built in 2 weeks. My goal today is to show you some of these tools and how easy it is for anyone to start building digital solutions through no code. The Neota Logic platform. So one thing to get across at the outset is that Neota is a platform. It is not an off-the-shelf product. It's a collection of tools and functionalities that our users can leverage to build automated digital solutions through no code. Before touching on these tools and functionalities, I want to speak to the platform as a whole. The Neota platform is built on 4 individual pillars, and these pillars underpin every single solution that is created using our platform. The main one is process automation, the ability to enable organizations to manage tasks and complex processes that span multiple teams, parties, and time. Document automation, very self-explanatory, the creation and, more importantly, control over automating templates and precedents. Expertise automation, scaling expertise by automating advice. A guided digital interview, for example, questions, reasoning, and output. And data, it's all underpinned by our data management NDM feature, the Neota Data Manager, the ability to manipulate data across applications or to build applications to read from and write to SQL and Postgres databases without code. Today, I want to focus on 2 of the pillars and the tools inherent in the platform that our customers use to build solutions that encompass expertise and process automation features. These 2 pillars are supported by 2 particular tools of the Neota platform, Canvas and Workflow. Let's do a feature highlight of Canvas first. Canvas is a web-based authoring tool that enables subject matter experts to quickly and effectively turn their expertise into runnable applications. Very similar to our Workflow tool, which I'll show you later today, it seeks to replace third-party process mapping tools to significantly streamline the way clients can turn ideas into runnable products. There's a few key points. Canvas requires no training to use and uses drag and drop elements that allows users to ask questions, apply formulas and rules, and generate outputs, reports, or send emails to third parties. All Canvas outputs are fully ingestible into Neota's main authoring platform, the Neota Logic Studio, for advanced functionalities. Think advanced data management, connections and integrations, advanced logic and reasoning. Our vision is that Canvas will be deployed entirely across an organization to give every employee, whether you're a lawyer, HR, procurement professional, etc., the chance to start whiteboarding ideas for automation. These solutions are then put through an ideation funnel to select the best few, which is then handed to a separate team of trained and certified Neota architects to build out the solution in the Neota Logic Studio. So now let's do a Canvas tour. And I'll show you how Canvas actually works. This is Workbench. Workbench is seen as the management console of Neota. It's where you can manage applications, manage user access rights, view application usage, and utilize data management. Up here, you can access Canvas. To create a new Canvas application, click the big blue button on the bottom right of the page. Give it a name. So we'll say Canvas Test 3456, and then click Create. So this is your Canvas workspace. So a few things to note. Name of the app is on top. You can undo and redo actions you've undertaken. If the play button is red, the app is not ready to run as an element or logic is incomplete. If it's green, all cylinders are firing. So our Canvas engine will actually highlight to the user where it thinks there is a gap in the app logic that is preventing the app from running. All Canvas work is automatically saved. Canvas applications are composed of tools, which you can see on the left-hand side. In the Canvas workspace, these tools are represented by nodes. An example is actually shown on screen in the form of a start node. Start nodes are automatically created and it's used to set the app's header, footer, and orientation, as well as customizing the welcome screen. The start node is the first screen that will be shown to the user when the app is launched. Now, briefly onto the tools on the left-hand side. Running down a list, the ask node requests inputs from the user at runtime. Formula node, very self-explanatory, used to define mathematical operations to set the value of a variable to be used in the application. The rule node defines logic that sets the value of a rule result variable to be used later in the app, for example, in a message or a connector. I'll explain what those are. Message nodes enables authors to craft messages to display to the user at runtime. Document node are used to allow authors to create PDF Microsoft document outputs for their applications. Email nodes allows authors to send email messages to one or more recipients. So let's begin the build today. To help us demonstrate Canvas, I'm going to use a very real practical example. I downloaded a California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA fact sheet from a quick Google search earlier. As you all will probably know, the CCPA took effect on January 1st, 2020, applies a new set of rules to certain businesses when it comes to the handling of personal information. Now, obviously, data privacy is very important to us all, so this is quite a relevant use case. According to the fact sheet, businesses are subject to the CCPA if one or more of the following conditions apply. So there are three conditions: gross annual revenues in excess of $25 million, buys, receives, or sales of personal information of 50,000 or more consumers, households, or devices, derives 50% or more of annual revenues from selling consumers' personal information. So let's start building. Let's start with the start node. As mentioned before, it is automatically created. Click on the pencil icon to edit the node. We now have some pretty nifty authoring tools compared to when Canvas was first released. One of the features is theme design, allows the user to set predefined themes to the application. So you can use a pre-built theme, you build it yourself, or use one that our UX team has designed. Here, I quite like the Neota Logic Santorini theme. So I'll select that. The beauty of Canvas also is you can actually see a preview of the themes and page layout below right here. The second feature is the Save Application Data. It's a very useful feature for Canvas. Turning on Save Application Data means that you're connecting your Canvas app automatically to NDM, the Neota Data Manager. This means that all user data input is automatically saved in the database when the app is run. So let's go about creating our welcome screen. Let's enter a heading. Let's call it the Digital CCPA Advisor. Note here that you can change the fonts, the colors, etc. You can also insert and add URL links, things like that. Let's also add a bit of text. So I'll just copy and paste it into here. Welcome to your Digital California Consumer Privacy Act Advisor. All right, I think that's all for the welcome screen. The next thing we want to do is add in the first question, which, if you recall, is gross annual revenue. So let's do that by dropping in an ask node, connect the start node to the ask node, click on the pencil icon to edit the node, give it a short description. Let's call it gross annual revenue. Put in the question text. So what is your gross annual revenue in US millions of dollars? Expand the question settings, give it an answer variable name. We'll call this the gross annual revenue as well. The answer variable name identifies the question if you want to refer to this question later on in the application. And the answer type obviously has to be a number. We can also put in a condition and a validation on the question, but let's leave that for now. So let's get out of this, this node. Now I want to create a document for when CCPA does apply. Remember, it applies when one of the three conditions apply. So let's build the document first, and then let's maybe add in a message for download and emails a bit later. So what we want to do is drop in a document. So we'll drop that in down here. Click on the pencil icon to edit. Give it a short description, document CCPA applies. Give it a title, let's call it report CCPA applies. This is a report title for when anyone downloads a copy of the report. Final report we'll name as the document output variable name. And then as the output format, you can have Word or PDF download. So let's go for Word in this instance, and we will put in some text for the actual report, which I'll copy from the fact sheet. And there you go. You'll note here that the play arrow up here is red, so I know something's not quite right, and it won't play if I press it now. Now let's move on to the next two questions. I'm also going to put in a new ask node down here, and we can have the next two questions on separate nodes, but I also want to show that you can have multiple questions on the one page. Let's connect the first ask node to the second one first, and also to the document. Oops. Down here. Okay. There's two pathways. Let's click on the ask node to edit it. Short description, let's call it other questions. Enter your question text. The first one is, does your business buy, receive, or sell consumer information? Expand the question settings, give it a answer variable name. We'll call this number of consumers. And the answer type here is yes or no. Let's get out of here. Next thing we want to do is actually hover next to the first question, click on the add button and click on question. We want to add another question to this form. Give it a question text. Does your business derive 50% or more of annual revenues from selling consumers' personal information? Expand the question settings. We'll give it a answer variable name and also select yes or no as the answer type. And then I think we're done. So let's minimize this and let's get out of it. Now we need to edit the first set of connectors. We need to add in the logic through setting what we call situation sets in the connectors. To do that, click on the connectors and click on the pencil icon. We'll do the first branch first. Add condition to branch 1. Now, we have two options, add a row or add a group. Adding row means that you are adding one logic set at a time. Adding group means that you're adding more than one set of logic. Here, we will click at a row. So here, find the upstream variable, which is the gross annual revenue, and it needs to be smaller than 25 for it to go down the first path, so answering the other two questions. Remember, if it's greater than 25 million, then the CCPA automatically applies. Click submit. Click add condition to branch 2. For branch 2, we can either add in a row that is exact opposite logic to the first branch, or we just click else up here. This means that any answer other than less than 25 will direct the user to the second pathway CCPA applies. All right, we're done. Now notice that the play button is actually green. It means that all the logic seems to be firing properly. Now I want to create the rules and message output for when CCPA doesn't apply after answering the last two questions. So let's zoom out a bit and let's drop in a message down here. Click on the pencil icon to edit, give it a description, CCPA doesn't apply. Enter your heading, CCPA is not applicable to your business. Write some text, thank you for taking the digital CCPA advisor. Based on your answers, the CCPA does not apply to your business. Let's make another message for when CCPA does apply. Drop in the message node, connect the second ask node to both messages, like so. And click on the pencil icon to edit the message. We will short description, CCPA applies. Heading, CCPA applies to your business. And then write your text, thank you for taking the digital CCPA advisor. And we'll copy and paste the same text as we did for the report a bit earlier. All right, now I want to create the second set of logic and rules through the second set of connectors. Click on the connectors, click on the pencil icon, add condition to situation 1. This time it's add a group, as 2 sets of logic conditions need to be satisfied for both branches. So let's click on add group. First row, the first set of logic is if number of consumers equals no, and make sure it's and, which means both conditions have to be satisfied for the user to move down this path. If percentage of annual revenues also equals no, then this condition is satisfied and CCPA does not apply. Click submit, and we'll do the same for the second branch. We'll select else and hit submit there. All right, let's move back up to the first set of rules for when CCPA applies. I'm going to make a new message so that we can download the report. And also let's put in an email. So we'll show you how that works. So let's drop in a message node down here next to the document. Connect the document to the message node. Click on the pencil icon to edit. Give it a short description, message CCPA applies. Heading, CCPA applies to your business. And then we'll put in some text. Thank you for taking the CCPA Digital Advisor. Download your report here. So here what we do, you need to find the upstream document variable value and drop it in. So this is what you do. Put the cursor after the last word of the text, click insert, variable value, find the upstream variable final report, and you're done. The document is dropped in. Now let's also do the email out function, because I also want a copy of the report sent to me as well. So dropping that in, connecting the message to the email, click on the pencil icon to edit. You can actually create your email here. So we'll say short description, email, CCPA applies. Let's send it to myself for now. In reality, Most builders here would actually create a question variable upstream to ask for the intended recipient email addresses. And then here, you can just insert the variable value. Subject, does the CCPA apply to your business? And attachments, so let's find the only report and let's create the email body. Hi, please find attached your report. Okay, and there we go, a very, very quick CCPA app. So let's run it. First run through, let's go less than $25 million as the revenue. We'll go 24. Takes you to the next two questions. Let's say yes to the first question, but no to the second one. That means CCPA applies to your business, so you get the message on screen. Let's go back and let's answer no to both questions. CCPA then shouldn't apply to your business, which is what's shown on screen. Let's hit back twice and let's go above 25 million. Let's go 26 and press continue. And CCPA applies to your business and you can download your report, which is in Word format down here. And an email is also sent to me with this report attached. All right, so that is, that's Canvas. Let's move on to Workflow. Workflow is Neota's drag and drop standards-based feature that allows users to create multiple process automation solutions. Workflow enables organizations to manage tasks and complex processes that span multiple teams, parties, and time. Now, we actually have a perfect description for Workflow, which I'll read from. Is actually, you'll find this in our ebook, which the no-code ebook, which we released a few weeks ago. Utilizing business process modeling notation, BPMN, standard visual conventions into a drag and drop interface, users of Workflow are able to orchestrate individual or multiple Neota applications, as well as external systems in a logic-driven, data-aware, end-to-end solution to manage the execution and completion of business processes, such as document creation that requires conditional approval routing, document execution that requires multi-stage negotiation and review, case management and matter intake that require assignment, tracking, and review, central task allocation, such as employee onboarding or IT support requests. Workflow really allows users to adopt a no-code building approach to create functionality such as conditional logic. So, do task A if X, otherwise do task B. Reminders, if task A has not been started or completed on time, send an email reminder automatically. Multi-party interactions, move work, such as review and approval back and forth across parties or business units. Actions, resume a process, cancel a step, query an external database, etc. And data management and order capture, progress status, and all data elements are automatically updated as processes run. All user input and workflow data are also automatically captured and presented in our case manager, a grid view of process sessions that users and managers can use to track progress, move processes along, gather statistics on outcomes, efficiency, and cycle times. Visualization across these data points is also possible through the Neota platform. So now to really show off Workflow, we need a practical but simple use case. What you see on screen is a simple storyboard for an insurance claims handling workflow solution. The solution starts off with an insurance customer. The customer can either lodge a new claim or see existing claims through a Neota build solution. If they're lodging a claim, they can input all claims data into the app. All data is stored in Neota's NDM, the Neota Data Manager. The policy number is verified against an internal database to ensure everything is valid. There is logic that is set in the background, determine which adjudicator this claim should be automatically assigned to based on claim amount, region, etc. Once assigned, an adjudicator receives an email. They click on the link, which takes them to a claim summary page. All details are automatically populated for the adjudicator. The the adjudicator rather, completes inspection notes and preliminary estimates are calculated automatically. Estimates are sent to head office for approval. So that is the scope, relatively simple. Let's see how it was built using workflow. So this is workflow, very similar to Canvas. You have a workflow workspace in which you can start creating your workflows. There are a few elements of workflow that I want to quickly talk through. Pools, which represent an organization, so company, counterparty, etc. Here you can see we have two pools, the customer and the insurance provider. Lanes, which you can create within a pool, represents a role or a system that will execute tasks in the lane. Lane conditions define task assignments and permissions. So within the insurance provider pool, we have two lanes to represent the adjudicator and head office. Node, a workflow element that's in the graph. Nodes are of three principal types, each representing a key element of a business process. The first one is tasks, something to be done by the user interacting with an application, by the user outside the workflow, or by a system. There are a few tasks here: claims intake to be completed by the customer, the adjudicator field app to be completed by the adjudicator, the head office approval app. Note all of these are actually built out, and I'll show you, we can actually run the solution from this view here. The second is gateway, a decision, a choice among potential paths through the process. You'll see one gateway here, whether the head office approves or rejects the claim. The last type of node is event, things that happen in a workflow, start and send email time and delay. You'll actually see a few emails here, which you can actually create and edit within the workflow tool. Very similar interface to Canvas. You can also run the app from here by clicking this run button. And it takes you to the customer app initially, if you remember the scope. There's two pathways: create a new claim or see existing claim. Let's go create a new claim. Then you'll just run through it. If you run through this, I will get an email as the adjudicator once the claimant has submitted their claim, and there you go. So a very, very useful tool for creating process automation apps. So I want to end on a couple of things. One is our very new feature, which is building blocks. No-code platforms, like with most platform solutions, have what we refer to as the blank canvas dilemma. The catch-22 that while everyone wants the tools to be creators, no one wants to start from ground zero, no matter how good or easy the actual technology is to use. The building industry tackles this problem through the modular construction method, a form of prefabricated construction methodology that sources pre-built components made off-site, which are then transported to the construction site to be assembled. In essence, it's a lean technique approach applied to the construction industry. So to solve this problem and to enhance the platform's usability, really, all no-code platforms should take a leaf out of the construction industry. Here at Neota, we've introduced our products and modular building block concepts to the tool suite. There's three key concepts to this feature release: products, fully built, runnable digital solutions, which are made available by Neota to its customers. Although pre-configured by the Neota team, each minute product detail, logic, functionality, content can be configured by the customer to suit their own needs. Product templates, skeleton versions of products, which customers can access to customize or further develop through the Neota platform. Product templates do not have content built in, rather, it comes with step-by-step instructions for the customer to leverage already built-up functions of the product while allowing customization of their own content. And the modular building blocks, fully built, meaningful, functionality-specific solutions, which through simple no-code plug-and-play can be connected to products or product templates. Building blocks include functions like third-party integrations, the DocuSign, into Box, into SharePoint, negotiation capabilities, and approval workflows. This brings me to the end of this presentation, and I want to leave you all with this. This is our 24/7 digital advisor, legal, risk and compliance advice, anytime, anywhere. We use this as a demo portal, but also this is a vision we have for any client, a suite of applications built on the Neota platform that utilizes a range of functionalities and tools the Neota platform offers and covers a spectrum of processes, workflows, expertise that can be automated. The idea is that your stakeholder or client can get a particular piece of advice, get a task completed without actually going to a legal, KM, HR, procurement professional. Thank you.